What's it like to be autistic?
It's like looking into a kaleidoscope, if you will. You know, take all the colors of the rainbows and just mix them together. That's what it's like. It's a very vivid, colorful, chaotic experience.
Tell me about your sister.
She's nice, kind, friendly. I enjoy being around her.
Naya, what is it like to be you?
Difficult, but not that difficult.
Grandmom, tell me about your granddaughters.
I am very proud of them, especially this one right here, because everybody kept telling me she wasn't going to do this, she wasn't going to do that. Now that she's in her junior year of college, I am definitely proud.
For me, growing up, I always felt different from my peers. Meaning, I always had this inkling that I wasn't doing something right. I wasn't doing the things that other people were doing.
What is your disability?
I'm handicapped. Can't walk? Yeah. Can't walk.
What do you know about your sister's disability?
So I know that she has cerebral palsy and that she can't walk and that she has some delayed learning difficulties. So that's kind of the scope that I know about.
Are you comfortable sharing the situation that made you raise them?
Well, Mom started having children at 14, and she wasn't ready. They were premature. They needed guidance. She needed guidance. She wasn't ready to be a parent. So therefore, I had to step in.
How premature?
1 pound 3 ounces, 1 pound 11 ounces.
I was always behind in math. That was a key thing. I was always behind in math. I was always behind in the social aspects of neurotypical people and other autistic people as well, because I didn't know them too well. And so I would observe people, I would watch people, I would kind of stare at people. Sometimes I would follow them if I got that chance. Not follow them in the sense of, oh, I'm stalking you. No, I'm following you so I can gauge how you're behaving, so I could take that and apply that to a situation that might need that.
You told me a little bit about the mom's experience with mental health. Are you comfortable sharing that on camera?
Yeah, I knew something was wrong with her at an early age, but nobody would help me. So now that she's gotten older, it's come out a lot, which she has been in the mental hospital. She had to go see people to help her cope with life. She just changed.
Did you have a diagnosis?
Yeah, she definitely is bipolar schizophrenic.
What were the symptoms when she was younger?
The fact that she would leave home and I wouldn't know where she was at for days or weeks, and then when I find her, she would go do the same thing, and I knew it wasn't normal because there was no reason for her to leave home. You had everything you needed.
What's your favorite thing to do?
Breathe in. Breathe into my beads.
Like the necklace you're wearing?
Yeah. Breathe into these.
Why do you like making your beads?
It's relaxing.
They both were in Child Protective Services. And at the time, I had a daughter of my own. I had her oldest daughter. And these two came along close, very close. So when it got to the point that they had been in the system for so long, they were putting them up for adoption. I was fighting for both, but by me having her kids, my own, the judge saw that they both needed around-the-clock care. They were severely premature, and I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. So she came to me, she got adopted. And the family that adopted her kept it as an open adoption, so we were always connected.
What was it like for you two to be separated and then reunited?
Hard at first. It's hard emotionally and sometimes psychologically, because when you don't see a person for a long time, you sort of kind of forget them. And I never forgot them. It's just when you don't see someone, you sort of don't have that. You only remember them from when they were a kid. And so to see them as a full-fledged adult, that's a new experience.
What was the situation that brought Naya back to you?
Adopted parents both have health issues right now. And we didn't want her to go into assisted living, so they asked if I could step in and help take care of her for now. And like I told them, that's no problem. Bring her.
What's it like to be reunited with your biological family?
Perfect. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
We have not seen each other in 11 years. And we've only seen each other starting last year. And it was hard, it still is hard to connect with her because we have not seen each other in that time frame.
If you had one wish, what would it be?
That's easier, to be able to walk. But we know that's not gonna happen. We all know that's not gonna happen.
Do you think about that a lot?
No, because I know that would never happen. I always wanted to try, but we know that wasn't gonna happen.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I would stay right where I'm at.
Why?
Because I haven't seen them in 11 years.
Is it nice to be with your sister and grandma?
Yes. Especially with this one.
What's your favorite thing about your sister?
We both have a love of reading. So I feel I can connect with her on that.
I don't make many facial expressions because I don't know how to express them in a correct manner. Whether it be a given situation, I don't know if I'm making the right facial expression, because if I'm smiling at somebody who's crying, they're gonna take offense to that and they're gonna be like, why are you laughing when I'm over here sad?
Did you know that Kaishawna was autistic before she was diagnosed?
I felt she was, but the school system, we did IEPs.
Can I say something? The school system failed you. I say that in the sense of they went off of traits that were not presented in females. Obviously, females present traits differently, but they failed you in the sense of they were going off of strictly male traits. And I'm not a male, I'm a female.
You're saying that autism presents differently in males and females?
It depends on the individual. So males and females who are autistic can share similar characteristics, but they are separate beings, if that makes sense. Males will sometimes have a harder time masking their traits, like they're more outwardly, they're more active. Some of them are more shy and quiet and timid. Whereas females, in a sense, they're always told how to present. They're always told how to, dress to impress. They're always told, keep up your appearance. That was a big one that was told to me. I did not agree with that one because I don't want to present something that I'm not. I don't want to be in flowery dresses. I want to wear sweaters when it's kind of hot outside because I like how it feels on my neck. I am a highly emotional person to the point where I will actually turn away from people because I do not, want to show my emotions to them, if you will. So most people, when they see me, they just see that I have a flat facial expression. That is because I feel that flat facial expression is like a brand new paint canvas that has not had paint added to it yet. And I say that because whenever a situation arises, say for instance, there was 4 people sitting in the living room and they're all talking and they're all giggling, I try to smile, and so that's me painting an expression on my face because I don't know what facial expression to use or to apply to a certain situation. And so I have to really analyze the situation in order to apply the correct facial expression. And I shouldn't have to do that, but I do that as a survival mechanism. I have to do that because I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to feel judged for being me.
She was diagnosed with autism at 20. When did you first realize she was autistic?
Third grade. Third grade, because Kaishawna was missing things, but what they covered it up with was her hearing loss.
Yes, they did that in middle school and high school, and that made me so mad. Like, do not do that. Do not cover up another disability for the fact that you don't want me to be labeled or diagnosed with this. Do not do that. You do that, you are destroying that person.
So they thought they were doing you a favor by not...
Yes, they thought they would do. Like, I didn't speak up about it at the time because I didn't have the information, I didn't have the know-how, whatever. But do not do that. I felt lost. I felt like I was by myself, even though I was surrounded by people. I felt isolated in the sense that I wasn't there. I felt like I was on planet Mars or something. Like everybody else was on Earth and I was on Mars just by myself. So I don't connect that to myself now, but as a child, I always felt alone. I still feel alone in the sense that I'm not interacting with people, but I feel like I'm not interacting with people in the way that they want me to. I'm interacting with people the way I need to as an autistic, deaf individual.
What is it like to be deaf and autistic?
Oh man, that in and of itself poses challenges. So my hearing loss was the first thing to be diagnosed rather than my autism. So I was diagnosed as having bilateral hearing loss, which means I have hearing loss in both of my ears. I do not have my hearing aids on today because of the noise and in terms of they are dead. So I have to change the batteries. I do wear them in school, on campus, but more so when I'm in familiar environments, I do not wear them because I am used to the noise. Deafness is really a spectrum as well. I call myself deaf online, but when I'm interacting with other people, I call myself hard of hearing. It really depends. I mainly go for deaf. I'm not completely deaf, but I'm deaf in the sense where I use sign language, I use text-to-speech. It really depends on the situation.
I noticed when I ask you a question, you take a few seconds to think.
Yeah.
Are you processing the question?
Yes.
What is it like? What are you experiencing when you process a question?
Answering questions is easier, but not all that easier.
You just need a little extra time to accommodate?
Yeah.
Is it easy for you to have a conversation with a stranger?
No.
Why not?
It's more difficult than that would be more difficult than what's if I don't know them, it's more difficult. If I do, it's a lot easier.
It's easier when the person knows how to accommodate you?
Yeah.
Tell me about your sister's processing delay.
So sometimes personally, I don't think of it as an annoyance or a hindrance. I more so, sometimes when there's a situation at hand that I have to get to, I kind of rush her a little bit, and that is my own personal fault. And I have to acknowledge that, and I do acknowledge that. But I still allow her time to get her thoughts together, just like somebody would have to do with me. I take time to process. I have memory gaps. Just like when I was going off on my tangents, I would have memory gaps and I would have to go off of what I previously said. And so I feel like, this doesn't just apply to her, it applies to other kids who might have the same thing. And so you have to give them time to process that. You can't rush them into the question. You have to allow them, like if they take a lot of time, maybe alternate the question in a different way so it makes more sense. So they can process, if it's said in a different format, they can process that format faster than an original format, if that makes sense.
What do you want people to know if they're meeting you for the first time? Would you like more time to process, or would you like a new question?
A new question.
If somebody wants to be your friend, what should they do?
It shouldn't be that hard to get along with somebody. For me, because normally it isn't that hard for me.
Did you know your sister was autistic before she told you?
No,
Did you notice anything unique about her?
no.
Did you mask it?
Yeah. Yeah. Masking is a huge part of how I deal with a lot of things. But I'm more outgoing than I used to be. I'm able to approach people more often. But I still have this sense of, oh, I have to hide this, I have to hide that, I have to not talk about this, I have to not talk about this. Because it's really, sometimes it's a good thing. But sometimes I can, go overboard with it. Like with the music theory aspect, yes, I can indulge on that for hours and people are like, please shut up, you're annoying. I, connect to people through music theory facts. And so when I'm talking about retrograde inversion, people are looking at me like, what the heck is that? And so when I try to explain it to them, they get even more confused. And so that just tells me that I should stop engaging with them through my favorite interests. And so that brings me pain and shame as an individual to not be able to connect to people through my special interest.
What is retrograde inversion?
So, I actually think I have notes for that. So, from the top of my head here, retrograde inversion is where you take the melody of a piece and you tone it upside down and backwards. It's really an inversion to the piece, so I'm not going to get into depth about what retrograde inversion is, because I don't want to bore anybody with that. But retrograde inversion has been an interest of mine since, I want to say, July of 2022.
Does Kaishawna ever talk to you about music theory?
Yes. Yes, definitely.
What are you talking
about? This is exactly what I said. I don't understand what you're talking about because I do listen to her play. She's been playing music since she was in 3rd grade. I've not missed too many recitals. I've been there basically for everything.
Are social interactions exhausting for you?
Definitely, 110%. I feel social interactions join me quicker than learning about math. So social interactions I felt like I was in a way forced to socialize with people because I wasn't doing things in a neurotypical manner. I wasn't socializing the way people wanted me to. I was socializing on an aspect of the favorite interests that I have, whether it be video games, music theory, just different aspects that I wanted to connect to people with.
Does Keyshawn fit in with the rest of the family?
Sometimes no.
I feel like no.
Sometimes no.
I feel
She's more of, I don't want to do this. When we plan outings, I don't want to go.
No, I'm not into that. Y'all are more out there, open, outspoken. Hey, I'm all for it. Y'all can do what y'all gotta do. But me, I'm on the quiet side. I don't want to be out there. I don't want to, I want to be out there in the sense I want to bring a message to people. I don't want to be out there as like, I'm on the stage.
But it's family time.
I know.
And that's been the
Sometimes
hardest task for the other girls to understand that she never, their thought is she never want to do anything with the family.
I want to
And
do
we
stuff
are-
with them, but not the same things that y'all are doing. Like, okay, if we went out to eat, okay, I'm going out, I'm going to eat food, I'm going to talk. But what y'all would do, y'all would be loud and out there. And I was more like, I don't want that attention on me. And like, I get it, y'all want to be engaged and y'all want to be outspoken. Hey, that's y'all given right. But me, as a person who's more on the timid side, even now as an adult, at 21 years old, yes, I'm still quiet. You cannot train an autistic person to be like a neurotypical. You cannot shape someone into what you want to. If you do that, you are breaking them down into an obedient individual who cannot register what they want for themselves.
You said it's tough for you to look at the camera. Why is that?
Well, because it's like looking into a person's soul.
When you do make eye contact with somebody, what is going through your mind?
Are they mad at me? Are they angry? Are they, rejecting me on the spot? A lot of different thoughts go through my mind when I'm making eye contact. Mainly when I'm looking at somebody in the eye, I think of them as angry, because when I grew up, there was a lot of shouting and yelling going on, and that really, when I would look at people, they were always angry, they were always mad, they were always something other than happy, something other than joyful. And so now, as an adult, I still interpret some of these facial expressions as like, oh, are they upset with me? Did I do something wrong? Did I, offend them in any way?
My thing with them has always been, don't tell me you can't do something until you've tried it. And if I see you trying it, I'm gonna tell you, oh, you can do that. Like with her, her worst subject in school was math. Oh, we fought for 2 years.
The way they were teaching it was not the way I was learning. They were not teaching it in a sense. Okay, obviously old school, but I like music theory a lot. If they took music theory and applied it to all of these different subjects, I probably would have learned it 100 times better.
But you learned it.
I learned it.
The way I did it, you learned it. And it wasn't as bad as you thought, right?
If you could share a message with the entire world, what would you say?
Stay true to yourself.